Want to know how to make outline letters and photo letters in Cricut Design Space? I am going to show you how, and it's so easy. I'm Sarah and this is Extraordinary Chaos. I'm the designer and Cricut lover behind this channel, and I'm going to teach you all my tips and skills that I've picked up over the years. This is such an easy project and it's perfect for invitations and scrapbooking layers. I mean, this is my Miami photos from my Miami trip, so I've actually created the word Miami so that if I was scrapbooking for a scrapbooking layout, I could use this as the focus of my layout. There's so much you can do with these letters and they're so easy to do. So what will you need? You're going to need photo paper or photos, so you can have a send off your photos, or I have this Kodak photo paper, so I will pop the link to that below and I'll just pop that in my printer. Cricut Design Space and a Cricut machine. You want a cardstock of your choice, so I've used green because there's a lot of blue in these photos and I thought that would just kick off the tropical vibe really well. Acrylic glue, so I've got Cosmic Shimmer Glue, and this is so easy to use because you only put a little bit on and it doesn't set straight away, so it enables you to it gives you a bit of movement basically, which helps you set your project. And your cutting mat, so I use a green cutting mat. So I've got an old mat and a new mat because I didn't want to braille my photos because I've recently printed them. If they've been printed a while, you'd probably be fine. Okay, so let's get started. And this is super easy. So I've typed Miami. I've used a really bold font, one of the free fonts from my system. And then I wanted it chunkier. So just to make it chunkier, just go to the offset tool and add a tiny offset. I'll get rid of that. And I've got my chunkier word. And that's going to be my base for my letters. So I'm going to go back into the offset tool again, and I'm going to create another offset and just make it a little bit bigger because I want this offset to create a bit of a space around my letters. So I'm going to click apply, and now you can see that I've got an offset on my word. Now I'm going to select all and I'm going to click slice. Well, it's not selected, so either right click and select all or select all on the top bar. So that highlights both layers, and click slice. And what that's done is it's sliced the top out of the bottom. And that is how easy it is to make your outline letters. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the letters. Now I could have done this before, but it's really as broad as long because you have to separate them and it would have taken longer to create the offsets and they'd have been different sizes. But I'm just using the square to slice out all of my letters because they've been welded. I can't ungroup them, and I wanted to get the offset first, and I'm going to slice them all out so that they're all separate. And then once I've done that, we're going to start arranging them to create the photo letters. But I've decided I want them a bit chunkier, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an offset and I'm going to create an offset to my first letter, and I think that looks better because when it's cutting it will be fiddly. That should now come up every time I click the offset, that same setting. So I'm going to go through and do that for every single letter. And then I've got just slightly chunkier letters, so they will just cut a bit cleaner than if they're too fine and fiddly. And also it will be hard work putting glue on the back. So now I've duplicated those letters, and I'm going to go onto the duplicates and just remove the contours. So what that will do is that's going to make the backs of the photos. I've got rid of the I and the M because I'm just going to duplicate the ones I've got. And now I've got my front and my back of my letters. I'm just making sure that my A is marked there so that I can cut that out because I want the middle cut out on the letter, which is going to be the photo. And now I've done that, I'm going to change the colour of those because I want that to cut on a separate cutting mat. And you're going to see when we start doing that's going to take quite a bit of planning to make sure the photos are in the right position. But it is really effective when you get it right. I'm looking at colours, and I think that the aqua is going to be a really good colour for all my Miami photos. I mean, we could do a different photo colour for every photo, but we're going to go with this. I've got two mats. That's a newer mat. I'm going to use that for the photos because I don't really want to braille the photos, and I'm going to put this aqua colour on my older mat and braille that down. We're going to start by cutting out our outline layer. So this is the outline letters we made right back in the beginning, and then we're going to cut out the solid inside photo. And now we've got those, we can weed those off. And there's our letters. And you need to start by putting them on your mat. I've got the eye there, and this is where you've got to really work it out. I think I'm going to just go in there. I want more of the beach and the sun in the background. So I know. Now what I can do here is I can cut this, or I can work it out so that this might work better with an M actually. So you know that your M needs to go at the bottom on the 4. And then if we put the next one in, actually these would have been better printed off smaller. So I'm going to put this on the 3 line. No, maybe put it on the 4 line. And what you've got to almost do is make sure that where you want the centre of your photo is on a number. So I've got here 6 by 4. So if that's, let's have a look. If we went on a 6 by 4 for the edge of it 6.5, you know that you're going to get that inside of there. Oh, we can get the French's eyes on there. So we're looking at, look, just above 9. We'll get that on there. Now I think this is going to be both of our eyes. So we can just get a bit of, I could actually get the beach up so it's half. I mean, the thing is, it's not going to be, well, if you measure, then it's going to be quite exact. So we've just got to go back now to the computer and reposition our letters so that we fit them in like that. What I've done is I've lined them up. So I've gone through on Design Space, you can see that, and we've lined them up so that as close as I can get. Let's see how we get on. And here we go, we're cutting out our eye. Oh, I think we were just a bit off there, but I think we'll get away with that. Yeah, we will. That looks like that's going all right. And here we go. So if I flip that over, and it has cut through. So if you take them off easily, you won't bend them or distort them. You don't want to bend the mat too much. This is quite a sticky mat because it's a new one, but I didn't want to braille my letters at all. And do the same on this side. I did get that one slightly out. You can see at the bottom, but I know that I'm going to get away with that because of the depth of my letters just. Now we're going to attach the letters to a background, and it's that easy. So this will take a few seconds. I'm going to use glue, and these are perfect for travel scrapbooking layouts. They're also really great for birthday cards because you can use somebody's initial. You could do it for engagement cards or wedding invites. And how did you get on there? Have you got your letters? It's so easy to do, isn't it? Once you've cut out your top layer, it's just about getting the positioning right for your inside layer. And by putting your photos on your mat and then positioning your letters over the top next to your Cricut machine so that you can get your measurements right, that makes it really, really easy to do. And they look so great. There's so much you can do with them. Perfect for gifts and for framed art and for scrapbooking. I know I'm letter obsessed, but I just think anything that I can personalise and make more personal for somebody that I'm gifting or giving a card to, I love to do that. I mean, I love that letter M. And I just, you know, it captures a moment, doesn't it? Because I was so happy that I stood on Miami Beach. I love Miami Beach. And that's what doing stuff like this and creating these memories and projects is all about. So we are going to make next episode a themed word. We'll put some detail in it so that you can see how we do that. And it's super easy to do once you know how. I'll see you then. Please do like and subscribe and check out the rest of my videos for so many tips on how to be your own designer in Cricut Design Space. Thank you for watching and happy crafting.